Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CMSportsNet's Girls Basketball Game of the Week. We're getting set for Manchester Valley to take on Westminster for the second time this season. But before we get to that good game, it's time for the pregame report.
The pregame report is sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's, pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Welcome back. I'm Pat Stetzer of the Community Media Center, and we are here for the CMSportsNet Girls Basketball Game of the Week. Like I mentioned, we have Manchester Valley Mavericks taking on the Westminster Owls in a rematch of a game they had earlier this year. And here with me tonight to break it all down is Tim Whitehead, Girls High School Coordinator for Mid-Atlantic Legacy AAU Basketball. Tim, I really appreciate you giving us some time tonight.
Thank you for the invite, Pat.
No problem. We're going to have some fun tonight. Like I mentioned, we have Manchester Valley facing off against Westminster for the second time this season. The Mavericks are 12-3 and 6-2 in the county, and they had won 7 of 8 games before losing to Oakdale earlier this week. But they are coming to this game on a roll. The Owls also coming in on fire, 11-4, 4-3 in the county, but they're riding a 4-game winning streak into their rematch against Man Valley. Like I mentioned, the Mavericks beat Westminster 34-20 way back on December 9th. Let's take a look at the county standings now. You'll see Man Valley is trying to keep pace with Francis Scott Key. The Eagles are sitting atop the county standings at 8-0. Tim, you and I talked a little bit pregame, and you've coached a lot of these girls at the AAU level. How important is that level of play toward the player development from the AAU into high school and vice versa?
It's very important because in a lot of instances, AAU is tougher than high school. So when they play AAU, it prepares them for what they're going to deal with. And you know, when you're in pressure situations, you don't think as much, you just react.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the team stats we're going to see tonight between the Mavericks and the Owls. They're pretty evenly matched on paper. We mentioned their records here a minute ago, and we take a look at those team statistics. And I wanted to ask you, Tim, about free throws. Everyone knows how important they are. How much time should a player be working on them? And I'm asking you for the high school level and AAU, if they want to see success, how many free throws should somebody be taking?
So for the high school level, they should be putting in 80 to 100 free throws a day.
Wow, okay.
A day. So for the AAU level, we try to put anywhere between 100 to 150, depending upon gym space. You know, it's factors like that.
And you mentioned to me a minute ago, too, you know, the top players will go out of their way to really work on their free throws because you know these games are going to come down to situations where the free throws are going to be crucial.
Absolutely, absolutely. They will come in pairs because there's no shooting machines really anymore.
Sure.
And they will work on them every chance they get.
Right. And I'm sure we're going to see a couple of them tonight that Tim knows well that have been working on their free throws for a long, long time. Tonight's game should also feature several standout guards, and let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at 2 of them right now. One of our main matchups of the game, and that's Westminster's Maddie Gassman against Man Valley's Emma Penchik. Tim, you know a little bit about both these players. Maddie has stepped in right now to a little bit of a more of a role because of the 2 girls right now that Westminster is down with injuries and illness. What do you see from Gassman, and what do you see likewise from the speedy, defensive-minded Penchik, who can also score points too?
So I know Maddie very well. She plays with me during the summer. She is an all-around player. She doesn't mind getting dirty. She can shoot the 3. She can get into the lane, and she can also get a rebound. Emma is speed, speed, and speed.
And speed can kill, right?
And speed can kill. She's the one that starts the engine for Man Val. If you leave her open, she can also shoot the 3. But the intensity starts with her.
You can see how Emma's averaging 9.2 points per game against Maddie's 7.4. Like you mentioned, Maddie's sort of being asked to do more now with the loss of Juliana Lesher and Abby Kindle for Westminster. They haven't missed a beat. They've won 4 in a row. I think, like you just said, you're going to see Maddie grabbing rebounds, and you're going to see Emma Penchik on the other side using her hands to get those steals. She leads Carroll County in steals per game at 4.6. It's going to be a good matchup. There's going to be plenty of other good matchups tonight as well as Man Valley takes on Westminster, the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the starting lineups and the national anthem and the opening tip right after this. Don't go away.
CMSportsNet High School Sports Highlights are sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's, pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Liberty hosted Manchester Valley on Friday, January 20th in a Carroll County Athletic League girls basketball game, with the Lions trying to add another county victory and the Mavericks going for a 3rd straight win. The Mavericks start strong thanks in part to senior Carmea Bowman, who hits the layup and draws contact. Her three-point play makes it 5-2 early for Man Valley. Molly Smith scores off the glass here for the Mavs, and as the play continues, it's Bowman with a steal and another easy basket. Manchester Valley is feeling it in the first quarter. Paige McKnight spots up from the top of the arc and connects for a three-pointer. Liberty staying close at 14-9 late in the first. Emma Penchik comes up with a steal and sinks the layup to make it 16-9, and Man Valley leads 16-11 after one quarter. Jenna Liska gets in on the action with a basket here, and Liberty is trying to keep pace. Man Valley leads 22-17. Haley Hodges passes to Danny Paulson in the corner, and the senior drops in a three ball for the Lions. It's 22-20 with 3:40 to go in the half. Penchik finds Reese Crestline for the easy bucket. Manchester Valley leads Liberty 24-20 at halftime. Casey Meredith swipes a pass, and it's a fast break the other way. Penchik scores off the glass, and the Mavs are up by 9 points. Penchik takes a long pass from Crestline and jukes a defender before swishing a three-pointer. The sophomore is on fire, and Man Valley is too. Meredith finds Penchik again for another three, and it falls from the near corner. Mavs lead 32-21. Penchik drains another three-pointer early in the fourth, and Man Valley is rolling. Bowman gets the inbounds pass and scores to make it 41-28, and the Mavericks are cruising to victory. Final score is Manchester Valley 50, Liberty 31. Carmea Bowman leads the Mavericks with 21 points, and Emma Penchik adds 18, and Man Valley improves to 11-2, 5-2 in Carroll County. Jenna Liska scores 8 for Liberty, but the Lions fall to 4-8, 1-6 in the CCAL. Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, welcome back. CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We're getting through the player introductions, and I believe the national anthem is coming up here momentarily. After the anthem, we can get into the starters, and then we'll have the opening tip-off.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, the national anthem, and the starters were announced ahead of that. We can go ahead and take a look at the starters. We can start with Westminster. Like I mentioned, they come into this game with a record of 11-4 and 4-3 in Carroll County, winners of 4 games in a row. And Tim and I mentioned earlier that the Mavericks won the opening matchup back in December, a defensive struggle, 34-20. Tim, you mentioned to me too, and then you can tell the audience now just how important you think this first 8 minutes of play are going to be.
It's going to be huge. The last 4 outings between these two teams, Westminster's fell behind every quarter, and they've always had to play come from behind. So They can't do it today.
Not that they can't do it, not that they can't play come from behind, they have, but like you
Correct.
I think it's critical, and I agree with you, that whoever starts hot here is going to have a really good chance to win this game. Man Valley in white, Westminster in the dark with the blue numbers, and we are getting set for Carroll County Athletic League girls basketball action. And Man Valley controls the opening tip. And right away, here's a three-pointer from the far corner. It's a little long, but Casey Meredith, number 5, grabs the rebound. And Man Valley will keep possession. Opening seconds of the first quarter.
One of the keys for Westminster is to rebound the ball. They cannot let Man Valley have second and third chances.
We mentioned Maddie Gaspin, one of their guards, who gets in there and does a lot of the dirty work, almost 7 boards a game. But I think, like you said, Tim, it's going to take more than just Maddie if they want to control the glass.
It's going to take the team.
Number 2, Emma Penchik, who missed the last game with an illness, back out on the court. Again, Tim mentioned that she's one of the engines. She is the engine on this Man Valley team, and they've got a lot of good players. There you see in the middle, number 20, Carmea Bowman. But right away, Westminster comes with a steal. And another steal there for Man Valley. So back-to-back turnovers. Give that last steal to Aubrey Chopper, number 13. There's Emma Penchik on the drive. Kick it out for a three-pointer by number 4, Autumn Stottlemyre. And she may have come down a little gingerly on that ankle. Yep, we're going to go ahead and see. I think the defender was blocking her out there. Maybe they just had to knock knees or.
She may have came down on the defender's foot.
Yep. So a quick stoppage in play. Number 11, Reese Crestline, coming into the game for Man Valley as Autumn Stottlemyre heads to the bench. Hope she's okay. She'll come back in a little bit later. $7:11 to go in the first quarter. No score yet. After a couple turnovers, Man Valley has the ball back.
It's kind of like they're feeling each other out.
A couple heavyweights. Man Valley passing it around. Here's Penchik going to spot up for a 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound number 21, Emily Conklin, one of Westminster's seniors. And the Owls will start in the half court here.
Man Valley wants to make those shots because they want to get into the press. If they miss those shots, that means they're into a half-court defense.
And that might keep Westminster close in the game, or at least one of the reasons why, maybe.
Yes, it would.
There's a tipped pass there. Going to stay with Man Valley, or stay with Westminster. 6 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. Maddie Gassman inbounded it. Conklin took a little bit of a wild shot there, and number 20, Carmea Bowman, come up the rebound, and back come the Mavericks. Still no score. 6:20 left in the first quarter. Penchik a little bit off there. And Gassman, number 24, with the rebound. Back to Gassman, who will take a 3. And she'll connect from the near corner. And Westminster on the board first. And maybe that might have been a 2. I thought she was.
I thought that was a 3 myself.
I thought so too, but right now, it looks like right now it might be 2. We'll see if they change it. Air ball from the baseline. Gaspin the rebound. Cross-court pass to Kaylin Battle, number 3. She'll spot up. In and out and rattles home, and that is a 3-pointer. And a 5-0 lead early on with 5:30 to go, and Man Valley calls a 30-second timeout. Well, there's the starts you mentioned, Tim. The team that's going to start hot right now, it's Westminster.
And that's the confidence that they need, especially with their top 2 starters out for the rest of the year. This is what they need.
Abby Kindle suffered an injury earlier. She was 12.2 points per game, one of the top scorers in the county. Juliana Lesher had gotten through 12 games, scoring about almost 9 points a game, and is also out with an illness right now. So it had to be who was going to answer the bell. And since then, Westminster 4-0, and Maddie Gaspin, one of those girls that has answered the call from the Owls.
Right now, it looks like Man Valley's just a little flat.
I would agree. And it sometimes takes a minute or two to shake the rust off, but you don't want to fall too far behind. And they did give her a 3, so it is 6-0 now instead of 5.
It makes you wonder Is Manval taking them too easy because their top 2 players are out?
Sure, and with how they beat them the first time
Yes.
by 14 in a low-scoring game. Now, that was December 9th, so we're talking about more than a month ago, but a lot has transpired since then. Man Valley will inbound the ball under its own basket. 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
We'll see if Westminster puts a little press. And there it is.
Yeah, three-quarter court.
Little 2-2-1.
Okay. Going to make Man Valley try to beat them from the outside, I would think.
That is, and
That's
it
the
also
goal.
takes some time off the clock so they can't get into the offense
Yes,
early.
sir. Going to get it inside to Carmea Bowman. She passes it over to Aubrey Chopper, who then passed to number 5, Casey Meredith, and her three-pointer was no good, and Westminster coming down the other way. Westminster running its half-court offense here. Kaylin Battle, she'll take a 3. A little bit off the mark. Rebound to number 12, that was Carly Rosewag, and then we got a kickball. It's going to stay here, I believe. And now we see Autumn Stottlemyre coming back in. It's a good sign if you're a Man Valley fan.
It is a good sign.
Luckily, it wasn't anything too serious.
Westminster's moving the ball pretty well.
They
I'd like
are.
to see them attack the basket a little bit more, but they're moving the ball pretty well.
Inbounds pass stolen by Reese Crestline, but Emily Conklin, number 21, will get it back. So not a full steal there for the Mavs. And there's Battle again. She'll take a 3, and she'll hit it. 2 quick three-pointers for Kaylin Battle, number 3 for the Owls, and they're up 9-0.
And that's a great sign for her. It's a great sign for the team. I believe they're only shooting about 22% from behind the arc.
Three-pointers have been their struggle this year, but so far, a couple of those shots too early, Tim, that really settles you down, right?
Yes,
Gives you
it
that
does.
confidence.
Yes, it does. They
Foul.
believe. You know, when you believe, you can do you get a lot of confidence.
And it trickles down the bench too, and,
Yes.
and all the other 5 starters. We saw a blocking foul called there on the baseline. Emma Penchik tried to drive the baseline. Westminster called for the foul. Inbounded. Stottlemyre will step back for a 3. A little long, and Westminster was going for the rebound, and a foul committed, I believe, by Carmea Bowman, number 20. So Westminster off to a really good start here. Under 4 to play in the first quarter, and they're up 9-0, and they have the ball.
Right now, Westminster's doing a good job rebounding. It's,
So far, so
it's
good.
limiting their second chance points,
Correct.
and that's big.
Correct. That's where Man Valley can get you. And now we see a press by Man Valley, something that they do pretty well.
Yeah, they run a hybrid 1-3-1 or a 1-2-1-1, which is called diamond.
Okay. And they'll be aggressive, and there'll be some fouls called as a result of this, but Man Valley won't go away from it. They'll stay with it for most of the game if they need it.
And they put length up top, so they'll either Carmea or Reese, who's like 5'10", 5'11", with a lot of wingspan. So it makes you throw over top of them.
Down the other way, they get it down low, and a little too aggressive on the pass. Turnover for Westminster, gives the ball back to Manchester Valley. 3:41 to go in the first quarter.
I would have liked to seen Carly go up on that shot, maybe try to get another foul on Carmea, and then that would have put her on the bench.
Early fouls could be a big key to this game as well. And there's Autumn Stottlemyre through the lane and score. Number 4, Autumn Stottlemyre, no effects to that ankle, and Man Valley on the board. It's 9-2, and the Mavericks will go into that pressure defense. Emily Conklin, 21 with the ball. Maddie Gassman fired up a 3, a little long, and a wild pass there to Reese Crestline corrals. Man Valley's got it. Casey Meredith on the far wing, gonna dribble it through the circles. It's clear that they want the ball in Penchik's hands to run the offense. Autumn Stottlemyre a little long on that 3, and Westminster gets the rebound. So Tim, you're on point here with the rebounding so far. It's all Westminster.
And I think Manchester settling too much for the outside shot. They got to get the ball inside.
Right now, you're right. That's a long 3 that was short, and Man Valley wants to run. And there's another 3-pointer. And that one sneaks in for number 13, Aubrey Chopper. And it's 9-5. Oh, it says 9-4, but I'm pretty sure they gave her a 3. I think it should be 9-5.
There's the speed.
Penchik came up from behind battle, knocked it out of bounds, was going for the steal. And substitution, number 12, Molly Smith, comes into the game for Man Valley. 9-5, 2:04 to go. And Westminster inbounds the ball. Battle with a drive to the basket and a foul called. And the junior will go to the free throw line for 2. I think they got Molly Smith for a block. Here's a replay, coach, of that three-pointer that rattled in from.
Yeah, it was a good member's roll.
The iron was kind there, right?
Yes, it is.
And here's Battle, and we mentioned free throws. It's early in the game, of course, but these free throws, like all the ones during the game, are good. And that one was nice form and a swish.
Every point counts.
And yes, indeed. Kaylin Battle, a junior.
You can see there on both of those free throws, she was in rhythm. It was nice and smooth. That's practice.
And she sank them both.
Yes.
Westminster has a 6-point lead at 11-5. Westminster playing good defense, closed off the lane down there made it a little tough for Chopper to get down on the baseline, but Man Valley retains the ball.
Yeah, that was great help defense.
Long inbound. Stepping back is Emma Penchik, and that is a three-pointer for the sophomore guard. And she starts to heat up a little bit, and it's 11-8. Conklin up top to Gassman. In the lane, Jillian Blueball, number 32, a little high off the glass, and a rebound to the Mavericks. Man Valley has settled down a little bit, Tim.
They have, and you can also see their intensity pick up on defense. Just by body language.
Reese Crestline with a block in the lane there by Blueball. Down the other way to Westminster, and stays down there as the Mavericks got their hands on a baseline play, but stays with the visiting team. 1 minute to go exactly in the first quarter.
That was a great block by Jillian.
She's got some presence in the lane.
Yes, she does. Of course, no backcourt there on a inbounds play, so.
Now it's just Westminster's ball with the length of the court to go, though, because of a nice hustle play by Molly Smith, number 12. But yes.
It gives him a chance to get back in his press.
Right. Ooh. Almost a backcourt there by Kaylin Battle, but I think the ball did cross the line. Her feet came back over the line, but
the ball can go across. The whole body with the ball has to be across to get that call.
Got it. 45 seconds or so to go here.
There's a good drive.
It was a good drive and a good rebound by Man Valley. I think that was Maddie Stauder for Westminster, number 13. And a steal by Westminster, and they can hold, or at least get close to holding for the last shot. Gassman. Pass down low. Is there a foul called? Or is that a kickball? Kickball, okay.
Now there's a time, I know they're trying to run down the clock, but when you're in the lane like that, you have to attack that basket. It's not often you get in there. When you get in there, you got to take advantage of it.
And they've run that play a possession ago, and they got this shot up and just didn't fall for Westminster. Stauder past the Battle. She'll take the three, and she'll hit it. Kaylin Battles, that's the third three for her this quarter. And under 5 seconds to go.
I would say she has that feel.
Casey Meredith off the glass. I would say you're right. End of the first quarter, Westminster 14, Man Valley 8. You're looking at 9 points there from Kaylin Battle on 3 threes. Tim, let's take a look at some of the plays we just saw here down the stretch.
Yep, and there's the block
There's
by
that block
blue
by
ball.
Jillian. Yeah, nice play. It leads the other way. So defense has been key here so far for
Defense
Westminster.
has been key, and the difference of this game right now is Westminster's making the three-point shot, and Manval is struggling on the three-point shot.
They are. They hit one there with Penchik, but I think we're going to see Kaylin Battle come up with one of her 3 from the first quarter.
Absolutely.
Nice
Good
pass by
ball movement
Starter.
right here.
Yep.
She catches it in rhythm without thinking.
And you saw her form on the free throw line was good. She's really stroking the ball well right now.
Yes, she is.
I think if my math is right, she's got 11 of their 14 points, so she's off to a really good start.
I agree with you.
But Man Valley did settle down a little bit after being down 9-0 there early in the first quarter, so they've outscored them since then, but Westminster does hold the 6-point lead as we go to the second quarter here in CMSportsNet's Game of the Week.
So far, Westminster's doing a good job with the rebounding. So
That's been the key. I believe that's been the key so far.
I believe, I'm not sure, but I don't think Manval's leading scorer, Carmea, has even attempted a shot yet.
Correct. They've been doing a good job holding her down. The Owls start with the ball in the second quarter. Gassman gets in the lane. Are they going to call for a travel? I think they are. Little shuffle there in the lane, and they gave it a call to Maddie for steps.
Once again, that's where I like to be aggressive and go up in and get some contact, and you get to the free throw line.
Spoken like an AAU coach right there.
Yes.
So Manchester Valley now, their first possession of the second quarter.
There's a
some
double
of that
team.
defense, yep. And I believe Coach Heather DeWeese called a timeout before the 5-second call was delivered. So, yeah, it looks like a timeout. 30-second timeout for Man Valley.
So now this is also big. This is, I believe, Coach DeWeese has used 2 of her 5 timeouts for the game.
Correct. There you see that defense, and they really bottled up Aubrey Chopper, number 13. So defense has been the key to this game so far for Westminster's early lead.
It certainly has. When you're doing a trap like that, you don't want to grab, you don't want to reach. You want to hold your position, and the offensive person will usually struggle, and panic themselves for a turnover.
And then you have that third person closest to that double team ready for the steal,
Yes.
the rebound, or the outlet
Yes.
pass. So Man Valley, like you said, two quick timeouts if you're thinking about the entirety of the game for Coach Heather DeWeese. Little reach in by Emily Conklin, I believe, not a turnover, but a out of bounds play. Man Valley keeps the
Emily's a great defender. She's hurt her knee 2 years in a
Yeah.
row, ACL twice, and
good to see her.
she
Yeah.
started as a freshman, or maybe not started, but she had varsity as a freshman, and she was always a great defender.
It's good to see her back. I know it's been a long road back for Emily.
Yes, it
with her
is.
injuries. It's a long pass, a long missed shot by Casey Meredith, number 5, and now Westminster will be back on offense. Casey Meredith comes with the rebound, and here come the Mavericks.
It's a good hesitation right
Sure
there.
was. Nice extra
Good
pass.
ball movement right there in rhythm.
Little short on the 3. Carmea Bowman with the rebound. Back out top. Penchik gets around Battle. Short on the baseline, but I think Westminster knocked that out of bounds. Conklin going for the rebound. And Tim, you're right. Carmea, one of the leading scorers in the county, hasn't got going yet, but when she does go, she can go in bunches.
Yes, they can.
Westminster has to be leery of her on defense, or wary, I should say. Under the basket inbounds here. Nice move.
Good left hand.
Sure was. 14-10, the Owls lead, and here's Man Valley's pressure. Well, Owls break it though, and there's Conklin to the rack, and Carmea Bowman says,
No way.
"No way, not right now." Number 20, Carmea Bowman with her first block of the night.
Let's see if that gets them going. Let's see if that gets her going.
Battle inbounds. Carly Rose Wag, number 12. Out to Conklin, number 21. And Westminster just runs its half court. Some good defense there by Penchik.
9 seconds on the shot clock.
Yep.
We'll see what Westminster does here.
Yep.
I expect them to run some type of set play where it's catch and shoot.
Okay. Preferably in the lane, but we'll see. Back out to Conklin. 3 to shoot. Baseline jumper, a little long. And number 13, Aubrey Chopper with the rebound. And Man Valley will slow it down a little bit on offense.
There's Carmea.
Yep. That's her.
Yep.
That's her move, but good defense by Jillian Blueball and others there for Westminster, keeping Carmea away from the basket. Maddie Gassman tried to go down the lane. Conklin will take a 3. A kind bounce, and Battle goes up with a rebound, no good.
That's great hustle.
It was good hustle. Let's see. Westminster does keep the ball there. Little scramble underneath the basket and a good hustle play to bounce it off of the defender and maintain possession. 5:49 left in the second quarter. Westminster has to shoot. Nope, it's not. And I thought so.
Yep.
I thought the shot clock was running down, and you lose track sometimes on those inbound plays, and Westminster forgot. That's a turnover.
I think Coach DeWeese did something smart here, and I don't know if Westminster recognized it. She went
Okay.
to a zone.
Okay.
She went from man-to-man, now during the zone defense. So maybe confusing Westminster a little bit.
We'll see if they can adjust. That was a give and go that nobody got to, and a turnover for the Owls. And a jump ball, held ball, might stay here.
I think it goes to Westminster, I
I think it does too.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
Yep.
no, Westminster
Yep.
started with the ball. I don't think there was any other ones that quarter. So a jump ball turnover then for Man Valley. Good defense. So they just backed in a little bit of man defense here. Oh, another turnover for the Owls. It's Maddie Gassman.
If
But
that's against Carmea, that is number 2.
Emily Conklin came up with a nice hustle play and kept that alive, and I think drew a foul. I believe you're right. That's on Carmea. Now, she got into the second quarter, but that's still 2 fouls for Carmea. She's going to probably have to sit a little bit here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Coach DeWeese wants to risk getting her to have her third.
Conklin on the line, a little long on that first free throw. Yeah, she's going to take a seat.
Yeah, it's always good when you have Reese Crestline on your bench, can come off and substitute. So
Crestline, Molly Smith. Hey, Coach DeWeese can run a couple extra players off the bench that Westminster may not do most of the time, and who knows how the game will go on here.
yes,
but,
they can.
Made the second one, 15-10 Westminster, 5 minutes left in the second quarter. And Valley's had it going in spurts, but haven't quite got things going yet on offense.
There's a lot of miscommunication right now.
And there's a turnover.
Their spacing doesn't seem right, and they all look like they're standing around.
Yep. And Westminster's been more agile to the ball, and of course the 3-pointers in the first quarter were key to their lead here so far. So 15-10 Westminster.
Now we'll see if they stay in their zone or if they'll play man. It looks like they're in their zone.
A little wild there by, a foul call. A little wild by Rosewag, number 12, but she got
bailed out.
She got bailed out, a foul call there. I don't think she was shooting. Oh, no, she was.
Yeah, they called,
I'm sorry,
they called
she
a
was.
shooting foul.
Yep. So Carly Rosewag, senior, will go to the line for 2. That hurts you, doesn't it, when you see the missed free throws and you're a coach?
And you could see how quick she was. She was just very quick.
Yeah.
If she just pauses a little bit, there's a pause. That's a little better.
Yep. Westminster is fortunate for them to get the rebound. And they maintain possession, and there's battle for the set 3-pointer. A little strong, and Aubrey Chopper's doing a good job here for Man Valley, clean up some of the glass. She's had a few rebounds last couple possessions. Coming up on the midway mark of the second quarter, excuse me. Casey Meredith, way off the mark on a 3. And rebound to Emily Conklin, number 21 of the Owls. They have certainly won the battle so far on the rebounding.
They have won the battle. And Westminster themselves, they'll take that shot from Man Val.
Yes.
If they're going to beat, if they're Coach Urban saying if you're going to beat them outside the arc.
Right, that's correct. But a good steal there by Meredith, and back the other way comes Man Valley. Meredith. Down to Stottlemyre. Penchik's out right now too, so they're going to look at Meredith to be the point. Molly Smith down the lane, and gets a foul called. Looks like maybe it's going to be on the line for Molly Smith, number 12.
And I like to see more Man-Val
Attack the rim.
getting that bet,
Yep. Here's a look at that.
Let's get some fouls on Westminster. Let's, when you're struggling shooting,
Sure.
get to the free throw line and get into a rhythm.
Yep. First one off the mark. And Crestline coming back into the blocks anyway. Molly Smith, senior, listed at center. She's 5'8", but she does a little bit of everything for Man Valley. And her second one comes off the rim too, no good. So it remains 15-10. And back comes Westminster.
Both of these teams throughout the season sometimes go through droughts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing one of them now,
both
of them.
Yep, we are. It's going to happen when you play good defense like that,
Yeah,
right?
yes, it does.
That's part of it.
They're back in man right now, so.
Guess they like the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. So it's the game within the game, right? When do you go back to the diamond or the zone? When do you go back to the matchup of the man defense?
Yeah, you see Westminster, they basically are playing with 4 guards and a forward.
Mm-hmm.
And Man Val's trying to match up with them right now.
Mm-hmm. There's that set play you're talking about.
There it was.
Spot and shoot just a little long on that three-pointer, and Man Valley comes down with the rebound. Three-pointer a little short for number 13, Aubrey Chopper, and Man Valley trying to shoot their way back into this game. They're only down 5, but they're trying to shoot their way back into a lead. And Kaylin Battle comes up a little strong with a 3, and back come the Mavs. Number 11, Reese Crestline, wanted that back to a give and go. And there's a turnover, a steal by Westminster. Maddie Stoddard passing to Kaylin Battle. She's feeling it. She wants to just start
letting it go.
Firing up the threes. Maybe a little too strong of a shot there for Westminster, and it goes out of bounds to Man Valley. 2:20 left in the first quarter. I'm guessing if you're Coach Heather Deweese, you're going to ride the next 2:20 with your leading scorer on the bench to save her from that third foul.
I would think so because Westminster's not pulling away. So
right.
There's no need to have that risk.
Correct, and you got Emma Penchik back on the floor. If you're Westminster, you haven't had much out of Maddie Gassman, but you've had a good contribution from Kaylin Battle and others, and you have to like where Coach Dave Urban has a 5-point lead. That was a tipped ball there by Westminster, so keeps it, but still only 10 to shoot. Long 3, not needed that one, but out of bounds to Westminster. So offense has been struggling.
Both teams are set on for this 3-point shot right now, and
yes,
they're struggling shooting.
Yes. It'll eventually come, but right now both teams, like you said, just really can't find a rhythm on offense.
Well, even for a college team, if you're shooting 35% behind the 3, that's pretty average. That's pretty good.
Sure.
I'd like to see them, when you're struggling, let's attack.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some spacing and some ball movement, and you have a higher percentage of putting that ball through that hoop.
Right, and then some of those threes can come off as a result of those shots.
Correct.
Gassman tried those, about a 16-footer, 17 a little long. Man Valley the rebound. Number 4, Arnold Stottlemyre tried to take a baseline shot, and Maddie Stoddard with the big block for Westminster, number 13.
That was great hustle.
Good hustle, I was just going to say that.
Stottlemyre was wide open.
Mavericks inbound under their own basket. Reese Crestline, number 11, got it back from number 33. Brenna Murphy. Penchik with a 3-pointer, no good, but Crestline the board. Up and a little long on the pass and a turnover. And here come the Owls. Gassman on the far side there. Tried to get it into Stoddard and a turnover.
Trying to get her on the flex cut.
Yep. No foul called as
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that call.
call a travel there on Man Valley. Looked like she drew some contact, but they didn't call it and let him play, and the rebound came to Man Valley in a travel call, so Owls get it back.
It looked like Westminster was moving to me on that contact, so. But they're letting them play.
They are. They've been doing this on both sides
Yes.
with the jump balls and things. Looks like about 34 seconds left here. And Westminster keeps the possession here. .26 seconds to go. Starter will take a shot. And Penchik the rebound. Penchik went to the bucket. Another shot, no good. And the Owls get the ball, and they can hold.
That's where they got to attack and go.
They run out of time here. Maybe about 2 seconds left as they couldn't quite get their offense. Yep, 2 seconds to go. They got time for a shot, though.
Let's say look for Gassman to get this.
Gassman had to throw it up. Good defense by Man Valley, and that is how this first half ends. Westminster 15, Manchester Valley 10. Tim, defense so far in this first half.
It is all about the defense right now, defense and rebounding. If one team starts being a little bit strong with the ball and protecting the ball, I think that's going to be the difference in the second half.
Coming up next, we'll talk more about the second half. Take a break right now, but don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey there, I'm Pat Stetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's Pizza, Pasta, Subs, and more.
Welcome back, CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week. This week I'm here with Owen Scott, South Carroll boys basketball. Owen helped the Cavaliers to a couple of victories last week, one of which was a game-winning basket in the final seconds to help them beat Westminster. Owen, tie score, 12 seconds or so left in that game. What's the play, and what did you see as you took that drive to the basket down the lane?
Well, Michael brought up the ball, and about 7 seconds left, decided to give it to me, so decided to take it to the rim, and the rest happened.
And the rest is history, a victory for you guys. I was talking to Coach Walsall actually a little bit, and he was mentioning how much you've been trying to focus on taking the ball into the basket more. You know you can hit the outside shots, but when those shots aren't falling, is it a switch you can flip during a game and says, hey, I'm going to try to exploit the defense and get to the bucket, and then I'll start making my offensive game, that much better?
Yeah, it's really a mental thing. If I'm not hitting outside, Coach will let me know, keep me in a good head space, and then I'll drive to the rim more.
The season didn't start the way you guys wanted to with the wins and losses, but I think it's 3 wins in a row now. Any one or two things you can put your finger on that is the reason why you guys have kind of turned it around a bit? Obviously county wins are important too, but what's been going well for you guys in the last 2 weeks?
We've really just come together as a team the past few weeks, really knowing our roles on the team, and the chemistry's been great at practice. We've been working hard.
South Carroll's got a big event coming up, the Gold Rush. That's always an exciting week or Friday night for you guys. What's it like playing in a game like that? No matter the opponent, all 4 quads of the gym are packed. The Hall of Famers come back. What's it like being in an event like that, in an environment like that?
It's awesome. I'm honored to be able to play for all the people who've been to South Carroll and come here, but it's just an awesome experience, awesome audience to play for.
All right, good luck the rest of the season, man. Stay healthy.
Appreciate it.
Owen Scott, this week's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
CMSportsNet High School sports highlights are sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's Pizza, Pasta, Subs, and more.
South Carroll hosted Manchester Valley in a Carroll County Athletic League wrestling dual meet on Tuesday, January 24th in Winfield, with both teams entering the matchup unbeaten in county play. The Cavaliers take a 12-0 lead thanks to this pin from Manny Rodriguez at 195 pounds. Man Valley is on the board when Crew Boog posts a pin at 220. Mavericks trail South Carroll 12-6 early on. It's 18-18 after 6 bouts, but South Carroll begins a run that puts the match away. Evan Owens starts with a pin at 120 pounds. SC back in front. Caden Cyrus gets in on the pin party for the Cavs. His second period pin gives SC 6 more team points, and they lead 39-18. It's 2-time state champ Michael Pizzuto with a pin at 145. The Cavaliers are rolling, and they lead Man Valley 45-18. South Carroll reels off 6 straight wins to take command, but Manchester Valley ends the drought when Travis Green locks in a cradle and gets a first period pin. It's 48-24 with 1 match to go. And it's a doozy at 170, with 2-time state champ AJ Rodriguez going against Man Valley's first ever state champion in Jake Boog. And Rodriguez pulls away with an 11-4 decision to close out the match. Final score is South Carroll 51, Man Valley 24. The Cavaliers post 7 pins and improve to 27-0, 5-0 in the county, and wrap up the regular season Carroll County Athletic League title. The Mavericks collect 4 pins but fall to 4-1 in the county and 32-2 overall in duels. Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's Pizza, Pasta, Subs, and more.
Welcome back. CMSportsNet Girls Basketball Game of the Week. Pat Stetzer here with Tim Whitehead. We had a defensive struggle, an offensive little bit of a slog there in the first half. Westminster 15 and Manchester Valley 10. We're going to take a look at the first half highlights. There were some highlights, but there's just a lot of, if you're a defensive-minded coach, Tim, you like what you saw. If you like offense, you want to see things going in the second half, right?
I agree.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those first half highlights here between the Owls and the Mavericks. It was a low-scoring affair, but as we see here, number 3, Kaylin Battle, Tim, is going to get off to a pretty good start here for Westminster. And you mentioned how important those first few minutes were of the first quarter, and it was the Owls that sort of got things going early.
You know, she hits our first one, and once she hit her first one, then she was pretty much a go.
Yeah, and we saw Maddie Gassman there, number 24, hitting the first 3 of the game for the Owls. But we know number 3, Kaylin Battle's going to get into it.
Here it comes right here on a nice skip pass.
That sure was.
And she gets the friendly roll.
She did, and that's sometimes what you want when you're a shooter, right?
Absolutely.
Again, the Owls were really hot. Same exact. That's the same one as it rattles in and out.
Yeah, that was the same one.
But just the way that and Coach Heather DeWeese, burned that first time out. Here's Battle again, same spot, and a little bit better rhythm, and it switched around the net. So when you're a shooter, you want to get those shots going early, and she did. Man Valley struggled from the outside, but Emma Penchik with a nice, again, skip pass, and she has that nice step back move to hit a three-pointer.
If she didn't hit that shot, they might be behind by 12 or 15 right now. That stopped momentum.
You're right about that. Some good defense there. You saw the block by number 32, Jillian Bluebaugh. She comes around here, some nice defense, gets the block going, crest line, and the Owls went the other way.
And I think this might be the last one of Miss Kalen's three shot right there.
All three in the same spot. So
all in the same spot.
That's where she wants to shoot it from. And she came up with 11 points in that first quarter as the Owls had the early lead. It's just the spot she wants to be in, right?
On all three of those shots, it was either skip pass or great ball movement.
Yep.
And she was in rhythm.
There's another block by Wham Valley. They weren't going anywhere either. As you see Carmea Bowman get on the block party. She didn't score any points in the first half, but she always makes her presence felt, Coach.
Yes, she does, and that was a great defensive play. She stayed vertical and didn't come down.
Now, she did have the two fouls in the first half. We'll see her in the second half again, but here's another block. This one courtesy of Maddie Stalter, number 13. So definitely some defensive prowess on both sides of the ball, and offense was a little tough to come by in the first half, but the Owls, after starting hot, lead 15-10 over Man Valley. We got a whole second half of basketball left to go. What are some of the keys to the second half, Tim? If you're Man Valley, what do you talk about if you're Coach Heather DeWeese at the intermission?
Man Valley, I'm guarding the three-point line, and I'm telling my players to attack the rim. Don't settle for the three-point shot. If I'm Westminster, I'm preaching, continue to rebound the ball, play the defense that you're playing, and protect the ball. There's too many turnovers going on right now.
Other than Carmea's 2 fouls, and things happen. Obviously, it has been too much foul, so no one's in too much foul trouble. Carmea's got to play smart here in the early going in the third quarter to pick up number 3. We won't see her again for a good while.
That is correct. So just nothing. Hustle fouls are one thing, but don't pick up any dumb fouls.
Right. You mentioned Westminster. I mean, Battle's got 11 of their 15, so you want someone else to sort of fill in that spot. We mentioned Maddie Gassman before the game started. She's averaging close to 7.5 points a game, and she's getting the rebounds. The rebounds, though, Westminster's done a really good job so far on rebounding the ball. Will that continue in the second half, or do you think Man Valley makes some adjustments as we go?
I think Man Val is going to play with a little bit more sense of urgency, and we're going to see that around the rim. I think Coach DeWeese is a great in-game adjuster, and I think at halftime she let her team know what she wanted.
And we're going to find out here with 16 minutes of game left who made those adjustments as we go back to the court at Manchester Valley. Owls have the 15-10 lead. Tim was doing some number crunching for us there in the first half. Man Valley committed 9 turnovers in the first half. Westminster committed 7. And we got some stats from our courtside colleagues, and the shooting percentages were a little bit low there in the first half.
Yeah, Westminster's at 24%, and Man Val's at 17%. And what Man Val, 14 of their shots have been behind 3-point.
14 of 36, I
Yes.
think, from behind the arc. So probably too many if you're a Mavs fan. But, of course, if they start going in, that's how they're going to get back in this game. So here we go. Westminster starts the ball with
Already a turnover.
possession, and right away, 9 seconds in, the Owls commit their first turnover. And we're going to see both defenses just really start to play aggressive, or continue, I should say, to play aggressive here in the second half.
I think we'll know these first 2 possessions, the
made the
energy
adjustment?
level of
Okay.
Man Val here.
Yep. It's a nice pass and a nice play. Just didn't fall for number 13, Aubrey Chopper, and Westminster regains the ball here.
In that shot, it was a good shot.
It was.
They attacked that rim, and when you attack it, then you have the kick out.
Yep. And I think they called Maddie Gassman, number 24, for steps. She sort of shuffled her way to that 3-point line. Ball didn't go in, and called for the travel. So just like the first half a little bit, we're trying to settle in here in the third quarter early.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
Mm-hmm. Emma Penchik there, number 2, trying to work her way around number 21, Emily Conklin. It's Casey Meredith down the lane, a little strong, and Carly Rosewag, number 12, with the rebound for Westminster. So still Westminster doing a good job controlling the glass.
You're starting to see, I think, the adjustment Coach DeWeese has made. Both possessions, they are attacking the middle of the floor off the dribble.
And there's a foul called on Man Valley. It was not number 20. I saw Carmea in the vicinity, but I think they're going to call it on number 12, or number 13, Aubrey Chopper. So Emily Conklin at the line. First one battles home.
If Westminster's smart, they would just keep attacking Carmea.
And if you're Man Valley, You want to keep her out of foul trouble, but you still want her to do her thing when they have the ball.
Correct. I'm not going to be surprised to see Coach DeWeese go in his zone and try to protect her a little bit midway through the quarter.
1 for 2 from the line from Conklin. 6-point lead for Westminster. Early third quarter, CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Carmea has the ball. The left hand, soft left hander, just a little strong. It was a good move by Carmea to get into the paint. But
Little jump hook in the middle. It's a great move.
rebound goes to Westminster. Maddie Stauder, top of the key, top of the arc, I should say. Bounce pass back to Stauder. She steps out. I think Carmea may have got a piece of that ball and deflected it, and the rebound goes to Man Valley.
So it's great defense by Carmea.
It was. 1 point so far, 2 minutes into the third quarter. I think we're going to be first to 30 here. Might win the game. There's a turnover, a steal by number 21, Emily Conklin. Back we go. Gassman up top to Stauder, number 13. Working on Bowman on defense.
Once again, it looks like they're a little stagnant again. There's a good pass.
And finished up by Rosewag. Number 12, Carly Rosewag with a nice pass inside. Westminster's lead is 18 to 10.
I can't stress the importance enough of moving without the ball.
And there's a turnover. Man Valley's been really struggling to just get their offense going at all. And Westminster's trying to capitalize here. Gassman shut off by Meredith. Inside to
There's
Stauder.
another good pass.
For a layup.
Coach DeWeese might need to call timeout here.
She did. And the Owls up by 10, 20 to 10, 5:14 to go. Man Valley really struggling here. And gonna have to talk this over. Is that a full timeout for the Mavericks? I couldn't tell, but
It looks like it's a 30.
30,
They're,
okay.
Yeah, they're out on the court.
yeah, you're right. I do see them on the court. Just a little surprised at Man Valley's inability. Don't take away from Westminster, but just their inability to get their offense going.
I'm
Westminster.
watching their body language, and you
Okay.
can tell their body language is like slumped over. Like
You said they were flat from
yeah,
the beginning.
they look very flat.
Yep. They played Wednesday and lost to Oakdale in a tough game without one of their top players. But I would think you got to get up for these county games. They mean a little bit more sometimes in the grand scheme of things. But right now, anyway, it's all Westminster. As you see Coach Heather DeWeese talking to her players on the bench.
So it became a full timeout, so that they're down.
No, you're right. I do see that. Yep. Heather DeWeese, been Man Valley's coach since the inception of the school and the program back in 2009. Got a couple of 20-win seasons to her credit. Some regional finals when she coached her daughter, standout Mackenzie DeWeese.
Coach DeWeese might be the best X's and O's coach in the county. If she's one of the best.
You're not getting an argument out of me, that's for sure. And that could come into play here if the Mavericks can get their offense going. They're going to need her to the collective effort, I should say, to get things going here in the right direction. If you're a Man Valley fan, Westminster doing a really good job keeping the Mavericks off kilter. Three-pointer was long, but rebound back to the Mavericks. Casey Meredith into the lane.
Very flat right now. You can tell the ball's not moving, and either of the players are standing in a spot.
They're just hoping that some of these threes go down.
Yes.
And there's one that's clanked off the rim by Penchik.
Now, at any time, this can turn around. You
Sure.
hit 2 in a row.
Sure.
That's a great curl.
Conklin for three.
Great pass. That's,
Good
that's great
three-pointer.
offense right there.
Emily Conklin connects on the three, and we got a 13-point lead for the visiting Westminster Owls, who are taking it to Man Valley right now. There's some more good defense. Meredith gets it over to Smith. Back over to Penchik.
Good move. That's a good drive.
First points of the half come from Emma Penchik on the drive to the basket. 23-12.
Right now, they have Carmea Bowman on the bench. I don't see her on the floor.
You are right.
And they're into that zone. So there's the zone that we discussed.
So Coach DeWeese might be trying to steal a minute or two here or there to keep her away from that third foul, figuring on all out assault here in the fourth quarter if they need it. But right now, 3:48 to go in the third. There's Gassman, the three.
Off a set play, that was a good play.
In and out. Oh, she tried for the steal and called for the reach on Penchik. A little aggressive there and got called for the foul. Coach Dave Urban didn't like it, but
That's a great hustle play. You see the ref coming over
talking
explaining.
to the official, yes,
Yeah.
sir. Might have got Emma in the face a little bit there, but that's aggressive defense. Spot foul, so it goes back to the Mavericks. And you see Carmea coming back to the scorer's table, so looking like she's going to be coming in. Casey Meredith will stop for an 18-footer. A little long.
Good play by Gassman, holding it up. They don't have numbers.
Back out to Conklin.
Let's see if they can start running their curls like they were before. And
Long pass to Battle. Nice extra
good
pass.
ball movement.
Baseline jumper, a little long. And Valley with the rebound. They got some numbers. Well, they did for a second, but man, Westminster got back good on defense. Three-pointer, no good. And out of bounds to Westminster. So those three-pointers just have not been hitting tonight for Man Valley.
They are cold.
And they are cold, and that's the reason why Westminster leads by 11 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I think that shot selection, I think that was pretty good. It was a trail three. It's open. If that's your shot, then you got to pull the trigger.
And with Bowman not on the court at that moment, she's back in there now. You'll have your inside presence.
So there's a 1-3-1, and that was a great pass by Maddie going on a diagonal.
The Jillian Blue Ball with the bucket, number 32, I think it was. 25-12, Westminster. Nice pass inside. Molly Smith with the score.
Great give and go.
So maybe the offenses are starting to wake up a little bit. 25-14, 2.5 to go, third quarter. And a nice drive to the basket. I don't think Molly Smith liked it, but a foul was called on the baseline.
That's when you know things aren't going well, when you're worried about what a referee calls.
Correct. It's the moment of the game, right?
Yeah.
With down by 11 and feeling like nothing's going your way. But here's Emily Conklin who can add to the lead.
That's that
First one
frustration.
goes- yes. First one goes in for the senior.
They just need to keep their head up. Talking about Manval, keep hustling. If they keep hustling, then good things will happen.
Right. And if you're Westminster, you can start to think about anyway the clock being part of your friend here. I know it's third quarter, but you can start to really run your offense and use the clock to your advantage as they have a 27-14 lead here.
They do. I wouldn't take necessarily too many quick shots, but I wouldn't hold it forever.
Right.
You know, with the 30-second shot clock, sometimes you get into it gets into 5, 6, the shot clocks go down, then you get a poor shot. You get 5 of those in a row, all of a sudden they can get 10 points real quick.
Correct. And especially the way they come up with steals.
Yes.
It's by no means over yet. There's Carmea trying her patented baseline move, a double team on Westminster. That's going to be a travel.
It's travel,
I think,
yes.
press line. Nice attempt to the lane, but a couple many steps there for the Mavs.
If she would have jump stopped on that and came down on both feet, it would not have been a travel.
Correct. Long pass.
Good step through by Blue Ball. Good patience.
Another 2 points. That's going to be a timeout called by Manchester Valley. And it is all Westminster right now, Tim. 29-14 with 1:55 to go in the third quarter.
Coach DeWeese has realized this game could get away from her quick, so she has one timeout left.
Look at that nice pass by Gassman and a good stop by Blue Ball under the basket.
It's a beautiful pass.
Almost a travel, but she was able to keep her feet. And she's got 4 points in this quarter.
So one thing with Maddie, so you said what's AAU, how that goes well with high school basketball. So our situation AAU, if they go 1-3-1, you always look opposite to the opposite corner. And
Okay.
She went to that corner. She didn't think nothing of it.
Yep.
She threw opposite, found Jillian, Blue Ball wide open for the easy layup.
So
that's where they don't think. They react and they don't think,
Yep.
and they know the situation.
Yep, so that's a little bit of her year-round training there,
Yes.
knowing the situation like that.
Yes.
So good on her and good on Jillian for completing the basket underneath. That's 2 straight plays like that too, where Westminster had the wide open layup.
Yes.
And they were able to convert.
In a 1-3-1, the corners are always open. But ironically, Manval wants you to go in the corner because they want that trap. But if you move the ball quick enough and move opposite corners, that's where the open gap is.
Mavericks inbound to restart the clock here with under 2 to go in the second quarter, and the Mavs really need some offense to start going if they want to stay in this game.
Good drive.
And a block, I think, there by Jillian Blueball, number 32.
That might be
And
Carmea.
he called a jump. I think he called a jump ball.
Oh, did he? Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
Yep. Keelan Battle had the ball, and Carmea used a little bit of her size to her advantage and was able to get that tie up. Crestline going to the basket. Nice drive.
Good drive.
Just didn't quite fall. Yeah. That was a good move by Reese Crestline, number 11. That's the kind of night it's been for Man Valley, Tim.
And it happens in basketball. You can do everything right, and the ball just doesn't go in the basket sometimes.
And that's not taking anything away from Westminster. They're playing a great game, but that was a nice drive by Crestline. And Molly Smith won't argue that one. Foul call there as Emily Conklin goes for a loose ball. You're doing everything right on that last possession. Your Man Valley, you get to the basket, the ball doesn't go in. It's deflating, right?
Absolutely.
And these are high school kids. At the end of the day, they're working hard out there to try to make something happen, and you can see their emotions sometimes wear them on their sleeves.
Sometimes that you get a little tense in your hands, and that could create just a little bit of difference in your shot.
Sure. You're trying to hit an 8-point play, even though you know it's only worth 2 down there. There's Battle from the near side. It might have been a long 2. Didn't go down, and Carmea Bowman trying for and there's the third foul. Bowman was going for the ball. Gassman comes up with the steal, and Bowman commits the foul, and she's not going out of the game with 1 minute to go. That's only her third. So here's Gassman come up with a nice pick of the pocket.
And the frustration of Bowman
fouls her on the loose ball. Yep. Microcosm of this game so far.
Yes, it has been.
Oh.
Bowman gets it right back.
Yep. A little ill-advised pass. And Bowman scores there. Nice tough play by Carmea Bowman. So she's not going anywhere.
Now that little bit of that's not a good shot.
That wasn't, but a good rebound by. Oh, well, there's a loose ball. And
so now we're starting to see that little bit of contact from Carmea getting picked and then coming back. Her intensity is picked up.
It has. She knows what's at stake here. She doesn't want to lose this game on her senior, as a senior on her home court. But a tie up there, going to keep the ball with Westminster on the last jump ball went to Man Valley. So that's that pass that usually gets picked by Penchik.
Yes.
But instead, Man Valley or Westminster keeps it. Kaylin Battle will try another 3. She's gone a little cold since that first quarter.
There's Carmea with
another rebound. Yep, yes, sir. So she's starting to assert herself a little bit.
I think we're going to see her in the fourth quarter and see what she's got. I think you're going to really see her try to take over.
16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Westminster 29, Man Valley 16. But as Tim is saying, we're far from finished here. Inbound pass, Brenna Murphy hits the shot, number 33. 29-18, the Mavericks have chipped away a little bit at this. There's another pass down low, and it's Jillian Blueball with 2 more. That's a killer if you're Man Valley.
That is a killer.
You did a good job.
That was a great pass. Once again, that diagonal pass, and I think they hit Jillian Blueball 3 times in that quarter.
And she scored all 3 buckets for 6 points. We have 8 minutes to go, a fourth quarter. Not quite over, but Westminster in command here, 31-18. Here's the last.
And there it is right there.
The last bucket there.
Threaded the needle.
Yep.
Jillian went up strong, and it was a good finish.
She did that a couple times in this quarter. One of Westminster's reserves off the bench, making the most of her playing time here and coming up with a nice third quarter of action. And Westminster, like I said, all owls right now, but we know better that Man Valley is not out of this game just yet.
It can change in a heartbeat.
At 31-18. CMSportsNet Game of the Week. I'm Pat Stetzer with Tim Whitehead. We got a quarter to go. Tim, we saw Man Valley kind of creep back into a little bit. We're going to show a couple highlights from the third quarter. I think that was critical, those last few possessions of them, just to get back into the game a little bit. But then again, Westminster responds right there at the end. That's almost a backbreaker.
It is, but they also still know that their intensity is big, that they know they can put the ball in the basket. When you see the ball go through the basket, then you believe the ball is going to go through the basket.
Right. We saw that early for Westminster. Now we're seeing a little bit of it for Manchester Valley. I think, like you mentioned, Tim, Heather DeWeese might be down to one timeout.
She is down to one timeout, so
think-
we'll see if.
I think Dave Urban may have called one earlier, so he's got plenty of timeouts left.
I'd like to see Coach Urban and the girls from Westminster keep attacking, and I'd like to see the Man-Val girls. They don't have to get everything back at once. Run good offense, get good shots. That's what you have to do. It's all about making one, then getting a stop. Making one and getting a stop.
Right.
And that's how you get
Each
back in the
possession
game.
you have to chip away, right?
That is correct.
Yep. And the Mavericks start with the ball as we start the fourth quarter. Casey Meredith, the three doesn't go. We're going to call a kickball, I think, on Westminster. Some bodies tangled up. Now, Emma Penchik not in the game right now for the Mavs. So again, she's coming off an illness, so she may not be 100%. They're trying to maybe save her for another minute or two and then get her in the game. They get it down low to Carmea. Left hand, a little strong, but the Mavs, good rebound by number 25, Emma Schaefer. Another board for Emma Schaefer after a strong drive to the basket by Autumn Stottlemyre. Three from Meredith won't go.
So here's
Loose
what
ball.
we talked about. Second, this is now a fourth chance. This is what they can't let up on.
Carmea
And there we go.
took about a 17-footer and used all the rim and rattled in. 31-20. Westminster still leads. Carmea Bowman is starting to heat up a little bit for the Mavericks, and they need all of it right now. That pressure's doing a good job by Man Valley's doing a good job on pressure, but Westminster broke it. Loose ball underneath. And foul called, spot foul. I think that's number 4, Aubrey Chopper, who had the ball. I'm sorry,
Autumn
Stottlemyre,
Stottlemyre,
right, had the ball. Foul called, so the Owls will keep possession. 6:45 to go.
You see Westminster got a little stagnant.
Back up top. Owls holding possession.
Good give and go there.
And
Good block.
Good block. No, it was some body contact, but we saw that not called earlier, and they didn't call it again there. So good job by the officials. I
Yes,
think.
they're being consistent.
Yep. Reese Crestline in the corner here. Maddie Stoddard playing some tight defense there. No call. Carmea passes over. Reese
There's-
Crestline for 3. That's going to be a little short. Oh, we called a timeout. I think there was going to be either a jump ball or a foul called there, but it's a timeout instead called by Dave Urban and West. It was probably a smart timeout when you're
I
double
believe that
teamed
was,
like
that was a smart timeout. She was double teamed with nowhere to go there.
30-second timeout for the Owls. See Bowman sort of step back from the free throw line and use that rim. I mean, you got to have that fall here in the fourth quarter. You almost can't miss now down the stretch, Tim, if you're Manchester Valley.
Well, you
can't miss too
but
many
you have
shots.
you cannot take bad shots.
There you go.
You got to take
Okay.
good, clean
That's
shots.
fair enough, yep. 31-20 Westminster. Now the clock can become your friend if you're Dave Urban and the Owls. But again, like we mentioned at the end of the third, it just takes a couple buckets of Man Valley's. A lot of time left, right? 6:11 to go.
A lot of time left. It's an eternity. So
On both sides.
on both sides.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'd like to see Westminster continue to attack, and if they get stagnant, it's playing right into Manval's hands.
Correct. Gassman, three-pointer. First time we've called her name in a while. That's a big bucket, though. And Westminster once again up by 14 and give the 3 to Maddie Gassman. It's clear that Westminster wants to double-team Carmea when she gets the ball down low.
And they're double teaming her on her left hand. She
Yep.
is left-handed,
She
and they're
is.
double teaming her on the left hand. So
One of those is going to go in, right?
great shot by Stottlemyre.
Correct. Number 4, Autumn Stottlemyre with a 3. Man Valley trying to hang in this game. 34-23 now.
And there's a turnover.
Good pass from Meredith to Reese Crestline, and that'll give Westminster a timeout. And there's a little
Yes.
fire from Man Valley. 34-25. 5:15 to go. So just like that, 4 points.
4 points. It comes
you
that
back in the
quick.
game.
You cannot,
5 points. 5 points.
You can't panic. You have to, and on both sides.
Right.
Manval can't panic. They got to realize they're going to get a stop.
Meredith with that good steal. Notices she
A
doesn't
good
have
trail.
anything.
That's a great trail
Yep,
right there. And a
yep.
great pass from behind.
And you got to score off the glass. And Reese Crestline, number 11, again, coming off the bench from Man Valley, might be what they need. A little spark there because we haven't seen much of them at Penchik in the second quarter.
I like the body language now of Man Val. You
It's
can see
different, right?
it's perked up.
It's definitely different.
So they're going to put a little token pressure here, a little man-to-man here. I think Coach DeWeese is trying to pick them up a little bit.
Westminster broke it, and they'll run their offense here. Nice
Good pass.
Nice
I thought
pass.
she would want to take that shot, but that's a great pass.
36-25, Westminster.
That's a great possession coming out of that timeout.
And there's a turnover. That's really good. That's really good awareness from Westminster on that last
Yes.
drive. They've done that 3 or 4 times now in the second half, and it's worked every time.
When you're down by double digits or when you're down by a big lead, you tend to overplay on defense. When you overplay on defense, the back doors are there.
And Coach Urban's drawn up something there, and it's worked for them a couple times. She step out. Yeah, I think Stoddard stepped on the baseline. So turnover there for Westminster, gives the ball back to Man Valley. 4.5 left in regulation. And the Mavericks trail 36-25. Nice pass.
And one.
Oh, and one. Nice play from Manchester Valley. Give the bucket to number 4, Autumn Stottlemyre. And she has a chance to make this a 3-point play. That was a really good court vision, too.
That was a great court vision. It was a great pass. It was a good, strong move. And once again, you see that emotion. She had that emotion trying to get her team fired up.
These free throws, as we talked about pregame, going to be critical. And she gets it to go. 36-28. Single-digit lead now for the Owls, but still a lead. Maddie Gassman being guarded by number 4, Stottlemyre. Battle.
Let's see if we can get some curls going.
I think that's what they want to run. There's Gassman trying down low. Rosewag, she'll take the jump shot. A little long, and Molly Smith with the rebound. Meredith. Stottlemyre was open for a second.
Yeah,
but
she was.
good defense
She
by
wanted it. She was feeling it. She
Reese
wanted that shot.
Crestline. You talked about her before the game started, Coach.
She is the she is like the intangible.
One of the intangibles
Yes.
of Man Valley.
Yes.
6-point game. 3.5 to go.
Here is Westminster getting stagnant.
Fans wanted a foul. I didn't think there was one
I didn't think there was a foul. I thought
the
it
other
was
way.
a good no call. And there's Crestline again.
Crestline to the basket.
With a good step through. And now we're down to 4. That quick. We have a ball game.
We sure do. Good defense from Man Valley, and it turns into offense, and just like that, here's a replay of the Crestline. You like her game, don't you?
I do like her game. She just has a knack for the basket, and she has a knack for the ball.
And they've needed it this last couple of possessions, and that was a big bucket for Man Valley, who now trail Westminster 36-32. We got a good Carroll County girls basketball game here, don't we?
This is a great game. This is where Westminster might be missing their 2 leaders. And we'll see if Coach Urban can get them out. And if, they probably only need 1 or 2 more big plays, and they could probably, whether offense, two on offense and 2 on defense, and that could probably get the win.
Sure. There's still time for Man Valley to come back, but if you're the Owls here, you just need to be smart, right? You don't want to turn it over unforced errors is what I'm trying to say.
That is correct.
Right. And if you're Man Valley, you got to like this momentum right now.
Let's see if they go to this 1-3-1, which I don't think they will. I think they're going to be more of a man.
Yep. I think I did see Penchik with her warm-up on, so maybe she's just not quite 100% yet. And Man Valley's been doing this without their top guard. And aggressive defense there. Could have been a foul called on Meredith, but instead just a A loose ball tap out. Man Valley's not going to stop being aggressive, right, Tim?
No, they're not. And you can start to see, you're seeing now Westminster's body language doesn't look good.
That's going to be a foul called on Kalen Battle. It's all Man Valley this last minute and a half. That should be a spot foul. I don't think we're in the bonuses yet. So, yeah, isn't it funny how the body languages have changed?
Yes.
Completely changed. Bowman, top of the key, a little bit strong. That was a little bit of a strong pass from Bowman to Smith, and the Owls will take that turnover all day. Under 3 to play. Every possession now, Tim.
Every possession now counts. Let's see if we can get a little something going here on offense. And there's a good curl.
Good defense.
Good defense by Man Val.
Yes, sir. Conklin, somebody's open. It's Rosewag over to Battle. I think that was a 2 for killing Battle.
That might be a 2. I believe.
But a big bucket either way. And it's 38-32, Westminster.
I believe that's their first points of the first quarter,
I think
correct?
you're right. Bowman,
Another turnover.
Bowman got stuck on the baseline.
Yep.
And the Owls. So 2 big possessions here for Westminster. If they score on this one, Tim, just like you mentioned, could go a long way in these last 2 minutes. Stauner. Bowman with the block. Rosewag gets the rebound, though, and a little strong. Oh, and Stauner with a great play. Loose ball, but Man Valley does corral it.
Both teams are giving everything they got.
They sure are.
Another good move.
Bowman driving in for the rebound, trying to get the loose ball.
Both teams on the floor trying to get it.
Stoudemire just a little strong on that layup chance.
She got a little bit off balance.
She did, yeah. Yep. The ball got out in front of her, I think.
I'm wondering, she was probably expecting that contact.
Correct.
And I think she probably threw it off a little strong.
1:42 to go. 38-32 Westminster, and this was a big possession here.
This is a big possession.
If you're the Owls, you want to use a lot of that shot clock, right, Tim?
I wouldn't mind using all 30 seconds. This is one where you can be a little bit conservative.
Or you can just take this three-pointer.
But you get the ball back.
Yep. Ooh.
Jump ball,
Careful
so I believe
there.
that's going back to Man Val.
Yep. Conklin. So that 3 kind of hurt Westminster there. Didn't need that shot. Again, that's the shooter in Battle. Just wanted to take that shot, and maybe ill-advised if you're.
Sometimes you got to have that court awareness. You just have to know.
Yep. So Man Valley gets the ball back. 1:25 to go, fourth quarter. But they're down 6, 2-possession game with just under 90 seconds to play.
And they don't need a 3 here.
They don't.
Let's get a good shot, and then maybe you can get a turnover.
Still time for Man Valley. And a steal, Kalen Battle. Oh, and a foul and a 3-point play possibly. And she just made up for her three-pointer troubles. That might be a backbreaker for Man Valley.
We're down to a minute and 13.
Yep, ill-advised pass, the foul called on Chopper, and Battle is feeling that. Taylor a little long, though, on that.
So now if you're Westminster, you don't want any more fouls. You don't want to stop the clock. You don't want to put them on the line.
Right. 1:11 left.
Put some
point game.
Put some pressure on it so that they can't. Give them a little difficulty. Make them milk a couple seconds coming up the clock, coming up the court. I mean.
Man Valley's got to go a little bit here. 1 minute. Carmea, Bowman, down baseline. 10 to shoot, and Stoudemire stuck there. Bowman.
Jump ball. It's
Jump
good
ball.
defense
I
by
think
Westminster.
that's Westminster's ball.
I think Man Val has to foul here.
I think you're right.
Coach Urban looks like he took a timeout.
Probably smart just to set things up in the final 47 seconds. And boy, the last 2 possessions were really big for Westminster. They needed to do something there as Man Valley had all the momentum.
Really big.
And then they respond and battle. You know, maybe the ill-advised 3, The jump ball goes to the Mavericks. She comes up with the steal and gets a three-point play. Well, gets a hoop and a foul the other way. Didn't hit the free throw. But.
This is what girls basketball is all about, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They play with a lot of passion. You can see both teams. They're not giving up.
No.
They're not giving up.
I think if you look back, and if we look back at this later, you'll just say that maybe Man Valley took a little long to get going.
Yes.
Almost, we'll see here, but maybe a little too long to try to pull this out. But still some time left on the clock.
I bet you Coach DeWeese, these girls will be watching tape tomorrow, and Coach DeWeese will have a couple things to say about their intensity. They might be doing a couple extra sprints in practice come Monday.
It could very well be. And, you mentioned before we came on the air how this might even be a knockout game in terms of trying to stay in the county race.
It's hard. With Francis Scott Key, with Key undefeated, and Man Val with 2 losses, this is one they need to win.
Yeah, now they do. Both these teams play Key again, but just the fact that Key's out in front by 2 games and the tiebreakers on both these teams,
yes,
goes a long way. So
there's a quick turnover. They don't want to foul. There's a foul. They got to watch that. That could almost be an intentional foul.
Could have been intentional there, yeah. Up top, though, it wasn't down low or anything like that, but it was close.
Yeah.
40-34 after that last basket, 38.5 to go, and this is going to be the free throw game now.
I was going to say, so here's the first thing we talked about in pregame show,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Free throws.
Yes, sir. There's the turnover. Meredith gets the steal.
We'll see if Maddie can take a deep breath, and, she should hit the first one here.
It's 1-1, I believe.
Yep.
Here's Maddie Gassman. That's a
so
big
now
one.
That'll let her relax a little bit.
First one's always big, right?
It's always big. Makes you relax just a little bit.
2 big free throws.
Neither of them hit the rim.
2 big free throws. 42-34.
No fouls.
And Emily Conklin, nice defensive play there.
I'd like to see Manval drive and then kick out for the 3. Now's the time maybe you want to shoot that 3.
33.4 left, and the Owls up by 8.
I think Stottlemeyer's been their best shooter today. Maybe see if they can free her open and get a shot.
A turnover.
And jump ball.
Gassman. What do they call it, jump ball? Yep. It was a turnover by Gassman, but Meredith got her hands back on the ball. Yeah, steal by Gassman, and so they get to actually keep the ball because of that.
Yeah.
So 28.6 seconds remaining, it looks like. Manvalley's got to start shooting the ball. Long 3. Rebound Westminster. Conklin grabs the board, and I think the Owls are sniffing a victory here.
I think they are. I think they are as well.
And a big win on the road. Again, you're down your top 2 players. You've been down your top 2 players for the last several games, and the Owls haven't lost since. I mean, that's credit to Coach Urban, and also just credit to the girls for realizing what's at stake here in these last few weeks of the regular season.
I think credit to the girls. I think they've rallied around that, realized they need everybody. Where, they were relying on all county Abby Kendall, and they were relying on a starter in Juliana.
Sure.
And maybe now they got to rely on each other to get the job done.
3-pointer
There's
doesn't
that
go.
3 by Autumn.
And Westminster's going to put a bow on this one, Tim. 42-34, 7.7 seconds left. And Gassman draws a foul, and she'll go to the line with 6 seconds to go. And on a night where Maddie Gassman didn't maybe have the offensive game we thought she might, Kaylin Battle steps in. I believe she has 15 points so far. She was hot early. She got hot late when they needed her. The nice play on the steal and the drive to the basket. And it's going to spell out to be a victory for
I 100% agree.
Westminster. And I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, I think what you said earlier is just the way they were able to get the boards early in the game. That told the story of the game.
A lot of Carmea's points, to her credit, are hustle plays where she can get 4 to 6 points off rebounds. That's big.
She couldn't do that tonight based on Westminster's rebounding. Gassman hits them both.
I believe that puts Gassman, I think she's in double figures now scoring.
Yep.
So.
Casey Meredith, no good. And that's going to do it. Final score, Westminster 44, Manchester Valley 34. A big road victory for the Owls. Impressive win for Westminster. They keep themselves alive, if you will, in the county race. If you're Man Valley, it's not over yet, of course.
No.
It's a county loss, though, late in the season. And if you're trying to win that title, then go up and get Key for another time. That's a blow to your chances right there.
Well, these teams are going to need each other's help now. So Man Val wants Westminster to beat Key,
right.
and vice versa.
And we're going to talk more about that. And coming up here, we're going to watch some plays from the second half, some of the highlights of the whole game, and we're going to talk to one of the players of the game. So don't go anywhere. CMSportsNet Girls Basketball Game of the Week will be right back with some post-game highlights and interviews.
Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CM Sportsnet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments. The CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Genova's To Go, locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's To Go, pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports Podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
It wasn't until after I found out that he was using heroin intravenously that I realized why these shoelaces were missing.
It was to the point where, I either honestly wanted to go to jail or die.
With the increase of the fentanyl and the carfentanil that's coming into the county, we are responding to more overdoses.
Addiction is a progressive disease, but how we respond to someone in crisis can sometimes mean the difference between life and death. Hi, I'm Tim Weber. Join me for Real Talk, a frank discussion with real people who have lived through a crisis, parents who have experienced a devastating loss, and first responders and counselors who are on the front line, helping to save lives. Hear the rest of their stories on Real Talk.
The postgame report is sponsored by Genova's To Go, locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genova's, pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Welcome back. Post-game report. CMSportsNet Girls Basketball Game of the Week. I'm Pat Stetzer along with Tim Whitehead. And Westminster Tim comes out on the road and gets a really good victory on the road. their ability to get those rebounds early. We talked about a little bit of just how important that was going to be. We noticed the body language was going to be a little bit off. We noticed how it was a little bit off for Man Valley. Things turned in the fourth quarter. What did Westminster do to preserve that 44-34 win down the stretch in your eyes?
I think they just stayed true to what they wanted to do for the game. I think their intensity was good. If you notice, Westminster got a lot of the 50-50 balls. And when you can get those loose balls, you have more possessions. And once again, they just made a couple big shots.
Big shots early from Kaylin Battle, their junior guard, hitting 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. She went a little cold after that, but down the stretch when they needed her the most, they needed her to come up with a big play. She comes up a little bit strong on the 3. She stays with it down the other end of the court, gets the hustle play, scores, gets the foul. Westminster rolls from there.
You know one thing about a shooter keeps on shooting, because if you don't, you're not going to score.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think we're going to go to some highlights of this one. Again, Westminster 44, Man Valley 34. A road victory for the Owls. We'll come up on those highlights here shortly. Tim, Man Valley we talked about Westminster being down 2 of their top players. Man Valley was also down a player today. I know Emma Penchik started. She's been dealing with some illness, I believe, earlier in this week. She missed a game. We didn't see her much in that second half. How big was that for the Mavericks as they tried to chip away at that lead and just couldn't quite do it?
I think it was absolutely huge. Just like we said in the pregame, she is the engine that starts this starts this engine, starts the offense to get going. Yeah. And if she was a little down and under the weather, you could see that Man Val was a little stagnant. You
had a girl. That's a girl who gives you 9 points a game and almost 5 steals per game. And she gave it a go. She started. She was definitely making some plays in there. But when you're not feeling well and you haven't had time to really practice, she probably missed Wednesday. Probably didn't practice yesterday. Again, I don't know for sure. But she gave it a go tonight. But because she wants to win, right? Like we talked about, their body language wasn't quite where they wanted it to be early. It certainly changed, and Carmea Bowman did her best to kind of get the Mavericks back in the game.
Yeah, Carmea got a little contact in at the end of the third quarter, and that kind of got her going, I think. And you could see her whole intensity level picked up. I'd like to seen her, pick it up a little bit earlier.
Right.
But, of course, she got in foul trouble, so she couldn't.
Right.
So that kind of limited her a little bit.
Maddie Gassman finished in double figures as well. Tim and I were doing our best to kind of keep track, and I think Kaylin Battle finished with a team-high 15 points. There were other girls that made great plays in there. Julian Blueball with 6 points in the third quarter. They ran those plays to perfection, the post layups underneath. Emily Conklin was hustling around, getting some balls. We talked about her, how she's been away from the court for a couple years.
Yes.
Back on the court now for Westminster. There's still a lot of games left in the county and a lot of regular season games left. Maybe the biggest win, and I know Westminster beating Linganore this year was undefeated. Always good when you can come back and beat a rival and beat them after they beat you the first time badly.
This is their biggest win. These girls know that they basically went 0 for 4. Last 4 times they played, they have not won a game.
And 3 times against Man Valley last year, yeah.
Yeah, so, and one the year before, and one this year.
Sure.
So it's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yep. Yeah, a big one for Coach Urban and the Owls. They improved to 5-3, and I believe we're going to go down to the court and speak to one of the players of the game, and I believe it's a junior guard, Kaylin Battle, for Westminster. And we're going to talk to Kaylin here just in a minute about the game. Again, I think she had 15 points, and 11 of those came in that first quarter. The Owls off to that really good lead. Kaylin, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. Hey, congratulations on the win. Kaylin Battle here, CMSportsNet post-game show. Kaylin, 15 points. I know you started out the game very, very hot with those 3-pointers. Then things maybe got a little bit cold. What did you do to sort of keep your mindset in the right way and get back into the game?
I just trusted that my other teammates had the capacity to keep going, and I knew that I trusted them very well to keep going on the court, and it wasn't just me out there. It's a team effort.
When you start hitting those threes early in the game, I know obviously you go out there and shoot around and you want to try to connect on those threes. Is it just a matter of, hey, I'm going to find my rhythm and get going? Because you had that rhythm in the first quarter. They were finding you on the wing, really good spots, and you were connected. What's that feeling like when you're out there and you're just able to see the rim must be like, really, really big and the ball must be really small?
It feels great. When you're hitting shots, you just get hot, and I just really can't hear anything. I get in the zone, and it's kind of hard to stop right after.
Tell me about the last one, though, you took. It was a little bit long, and Man Valley got the rebound, but you stayed with it, and you made a great play defensively, and you went down, got the hoop and the harm. How big was that for you? Because you hadn't scored in a little while there, and you come back down, make a nice defensive play for your team, and then you score a big bucket.
That was big because Man Val also went on a run, so I knew that we just had to keep our composure, and if we kept our run going, then we were able to secure the win.
They beat you guys pretty handily the first time, way back in December. I know it was early in the season. You guys are down two of your main players in Juliana and Abby for illness and injury and those kind of things. How big is this win for you guys? It was a total team effort, we thought, here back in the studio. And for you able to go beat Man Valley, who had beaten you in the last 4 times in a row, that's got to feel pretty sweet, right?
Yes, it was a very big win. I knew from the first time they beat us that the whole team wanted to get them done. We wanted to win. So we came out and we knew that we wanted to get this win, and that's what we did.
All right, Kaylin Battle, congratulations. 15 points, Westminster 44, Man Valley 34. Kaylin, thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, there's Kaylin Battle. Tim, we saw her, sort of take command in that first quarter with the 3-pointers. Then she goes cold, and that happens right in the high school game and AAU game. And I was trying to ask her a little bit, but as a coach, if you're watching that kind of a play, you play her go cold. Are you verbally with her to say, look, keep going, keep going, do what you want to do offense. They're going to start to fall for you.
As long as they're good shots, then yes, you keep going.
Maybe it wasn't the best shot she took there down the stretch. If you're a coach, you say no, but then she turns around and makes up for it with a really nice play. She didn't hang her head, right? She stayed with the play.
That is correct. But what I mean by a good shot, you can't force it. If you're in rhythm and you shoot, you got to let it go. Down the in the last part of the fourth quarter when the time's going down, maybe that's a little bit of court awareness. But you know what? Her hustle got it right back. She knew.
She got that one in her pocket, too.
Yeah,
she put it
she
away.
knew.
Yeah, she did. We're going to go to some highlights now from the rest of this game. Westminster with a big win, 44-34. Let's go back and take a look at some of the big plays of the game. And we've been talking already about how hot the Owls started this game in the first quarter. There we see Carmea Bowman. And we just never really saw Carmea get going early in the first half of this game. And that led to Westminster's ability to take command of this one early.
I think Carmea's first points were with a minute left to go in the third quarter.
I think you're right. We know she was scoreless, and she did pick up those 2 fouls. And we just talked with Kaylin Battle, and we saw this one in the first half. And her ability to know where she needs to be on the court. She loves that spot right there, right?
Same spot. For all 3, it was the same spot.
Just that little nook of the wing. Also, with Man Valley's defense not going to guard her, she's going to take that 3.
That is correct.
So, but Kaylin was definitely on fire. And Emma Penchik, we see her here take that pass and step back behind the 3-point line. That's her first points of the game on a night where offense was really slow in the first half for both sides.
And I believe they really missed her this game.
I do too, especially in that second half. We didn't see much of her in the second half. We're going to see Kaylin again switch to 3. She had 3 of those in the first quarter and 11 of their 15 points in the first quarter. I believe Westminster had the 15-10 lead. Man Valley got back into it a little bit, but again, just the offense just struggled a little bit in the early going. Both defenses, though, were playing pretty well.
Both defenses were playing well, but both offenses were relying too much on that outside shot.
There's one from Emily Conklin, number 21. A nice pass back out by Maddie Stauder. And look, if you're Westminster and those shots are falling early, you gotta like how your chances are going to be in this game. But the Mavericks don't go away, and there was Emma Penchik again with a bucket. So she did have those 5 points in the first half.
Good little Euro.
It was, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Westminster started to try to work a little bit of their half-court offense. And here's those post plays. Julian blue ball.
There was that 1-3-1 zone, and
Correct.
I think Coach Urban had them prepared for this, and they for 3 times in that third quarter they got it.
And you said someone's always open on them, and there's 2 right there. There's a little stop by Jillian, scores underneath. Another pass from Gassman, assist. A block by Jillian underneath. And a jump ball called there. Some good defense from number 32, Jillian Blueball on Westminster. But the Mavericks didn't really go away.
Here's where they started going. That's the first bucket that she had.
A nice pass back out and nice body movement for Carmea to be able to hold her position there. She's a good athlete for sure. So the Mavericks were trying to chip away. It helps when you can get that spot-up shot like that from Brenda Murphy, number 33.
Another player off the bench that's contributing.
And a nice pass from Carmea.
Yes, it was.
Almost replica of Westminster did before. So the Mavs were trying to stay in this game. They got it down to as little as 6, but then right here was the backbreaker.
And I think that was the killer.
That was a real killer. End of the third quarter, same play, Gassman to blue ball. She hits the layup. Man Valley's defense was just one step behind too many times tonight, Tim, and that led to easy buckets for the Owls.
I agree 100% with that.
And like you mentioned, Carmea, she's going to get them. She stepped back, kind of nice arc, and hit that 17-footer. They needed that bucket there, too, as they were trying to mount this comeback. But almost every time, the Owls had an answer.
They kept attacking, and Kalen said it well. Composure is key.
And this is great ball movement. And Gassman,
yes,
who hadn't scored in a little while, hits it from the top of the arc. Big three-pointer for Westminster. That's just good court presence and good vision for all the Owls teammates to find the open man.
I think Gassman had 7 or 9 points in there, 7 points in that last quarter. Probably in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Mavs didn't go away. You see Casey Meredith with a steal there, and Reese Crestline scored, and she had a good second half, Tim.
She had a great fourth quarter. She was driving. She was feeling every bit of it.
But once again, Westminster scores down low. Maddie Gassman takes a forearm to the face, doesn't phase her. But
there's
Mavs, that was a big play by the Mavs. You thought for a second there that was going to really turn the tables.
Here comes Crestline.
Crestline with a great drive. And you felt like I said, you felt the Mavericks were really getting momentum, and Westminster responds. And it's battle from just inside the three-point line. That was a big bucket for her confidence there, too.
That was a big bucket.
And then here's her steal.
And there's the steal.
Right after she had taken that perhaps ill-advised three, she scores off the glass. Westminster's feeling it, and they are going to be on their way. See, Man Valley's final buckets here, trying to keep pace, but a little too much for Westminster, and they hold on for a very, very impressive 44-34 victory on the road, and they drop Man Valley at home, and that's what they needed to do, Tim, in order to stay in the county race. I know we're impressed with Gassman. Who else did you really raise your eyebrows tonight for the Owls?
Well, of course, Kalen.
Sure.
She not only on the offensive end, she also played tight defense, and that goes for the whole Westminster team. But I also like to give credit to I think Autumn Stottlemyre for Man Val played very well.
Yep.
She injured herself early,
She
came
did.
back in.
That's right.
And you know what? She led her team in points. When everybody else was cold, she was hitting them. And then, the others came.
And
Man Valley fought. They got it back down to 2. It was 36-32.
Right.
They had a chance.
Right.
And, it just was Westminster's night tonight.
It was, and that was a 13 or 14-point lead there at one point for the Owls, and they were able to do enough to hold on and get the victory. You mentioned Autumn Stottlemyre. I thought Reese Crestline really came up big for them in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Carmea got her buckets a little bit late, hampered with some foul trouble early, but it was all Westminster tonight. 44-34 is your final score for Manchester Valley. The Owls get a big county win. They've got Francis Scott Key one more time before the regular season ends, and Man Valley does as well. But right now it's the Owls and Mavs have split the regular season. I got a good feeling we're going to see them again in the regional playoffs.
I guarantee you we probably will.
and I hope to do more of these games. And Tim, thanks very much for giving us some of your time tonight. I really appreciate your insight.
I really appreciate the offer. Believe me, I had a great time.
I had a great time with you as well. For Tim Whitehead, I'm Pat Stetzer. Thanks for joining us for CMSportsNet's Game of the Week Girls Basketball. The final score, Westminster 44, Manchester Valley 34. We'll see you next time.